So let's just start off in mount this time. Okay, so I'm mounted. God, you're huge. What do you weigh in pounds?
I'm gonna say
Don't make me get
90
conversions.
90 to 100 kilos, pounds, like double the amount, right? 200 pounds.
Carry the two. Don't make me do conversions. I'll pull the calculator out later.
That's a lot of cocaine.
That's minus 200.
Yeah, I'm guessing 220. We'll do it.
245.
Because it's 2.2, right? It's like 2.2. Yeah, about 220.
I got Alexa right there.
Right. All right. So, guys, we're gonna just start. Let's do the Americana setup again today. Okay. So, real simple. Elbows tight. I'm gonna attack that wrist. I roll my chest. I'm under and over. Keep in mind, especially you newer guys. Also, new guys, you can move around. You can come over this side if you need to. But keep in mind, I want to do like reverse throttle, like I'm slowing down a motorcycle. My goal here is always to keep his pinky on the mat. My head's down. And then I'm smashing his upper arm with my bicep, okay? So there's my drag. I'm trying not to lift the elbow until I need to. So we can finish that or not. I really don't care because I'm not worried about the Americana on this. All I'm gonna do is pick it up, pin it to my chest, set it on this side, elbows on the mat. Now that snake's under his head, okay? So we have the wrist lock we worked on. Boom, if I want it. Turn this way a little bit. If he makes a fist like he's preventing the wrist lock, again, guys, I can just kind of attack right at the wrist. Be careful because it'll kind of bump. So, like, put the weight on it and drag it that way. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, wrist lock's always there. But all I'm going to do here is something simple we all know, just a basic arm triangle. Okay, so I've got the gift wrap. I can punch him a few times if I want, but I'm just going to take this hand now. So, my non-gripping hand. I'm gonna lift his head up and I'm gonna shoot that arm under that arm. Okay, so under both. And my goal on these arm triangles is always to get my shoulder in the pit of his armpit. Okay, that's redundant. In his armpit. I probably don't need to say pit. How about pit of his arm? That works, right? Okay, so big, nice and heavy. I'm gonna gable grip this up, and now you could definitely finish this from mount if you want, but I like to dismount, so I'm just gonna put my toes down, switch my hips, knee to the ground, belly down, okay, like prone shooting position, all right? Draw that through, and I'm just gonna let gravity do most of the work, okay? Now, when I decide to squeeze, I'm gonna squeeze and flex my hand, okay? So, thanks for letting me get through that. So, flex my wrist this way. Okay, what that does is it'll draw that elbow through a little bit, and it just makes it a little bit tighter. Okay? So whatever my setup might be, so maybe we're here, swing this way, come through, I get my gift wrap, okay? Look, if I had to wrap, I'm literally, guys, put my arm back in the same spot, but under his arm, okay? Right here, boom, lock it in. Now, I'll tell you, I can feel that my shoulder's a little higher than it needs to be out of his armpit. So as I shift, I'm gonna drop my weight or my body down, reset it, and then drop back up, okay? So my prone position here, guys, I like my knee to be in his hip, and I fall flat on that outer leg. Right there, but I'm letting gravity do most of the work here, guys. So I'll sit on this for a few seconds. Just kind of hang out, make sure I'm nice and tight, make sure he's not going anywhere, and then get my flex on. Okay? When I say flex, I'm not flexing here, I'm flexing these. Right there. Cool? Super simple, easy setup. Hop out, Eddie. Let me have somebody else for one. Turn it on real quick. Okay? So, again, guys, if you want to play with different setups, that's fine. If you want to go right into like the Americana, boop, just pick it up, drop it down, work your way under. There's my wrist lock if I want it. If it's fist, just boop, right in there, okay? Then all I'm doing here, my shoulder goes right here, okay? I go under that arm, catch. Now, I like to keep it, I don't try to set my shoulder here. I dismount, I set my shoulder about here, okay? So, I think the biggest thing a lot of people fall into with this is they think like, I've got to stay tight, and they're in a bad spot. Just let your body slide down. So I'm pulling my shoulder down and setting it in the ribs, and then pushing it back up, okay? One, right there. Now I'm nice and tight, and I just let gravity do muscle work, let it down choke them a little bit, and when I'm ready, I flex those hands, okay? Nice. Cool? Good? Simple? You guys. No offense. We good, guys? All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3.
I'm looking at my luggage.
You ever seen Return of the Dragon where Bruce Lee's doing this thing? And it's like all this, like how
I've seen the last dragon. What is that?
Leroy. Bruce Lee.
still one of the best martial arts movies ever. All right, so look, guys, two things. I had the two tallest guys in the room asking me the exact same question at the exact same time, kind of. So here, my elbow, like a lot of times, everybody's like, get that elbow in tight, get that elbow on the ground. So that elbow on the ground, actually, if my arms are shorter, it pulls my shoulder away from where my shoulder needs to be. So I'm not focused on my elbow being down. I always focus on my shoulder and the armpit. But what I don't want is I don't want my elbow to have space. Okay, so you guys can see the space. So I don't care the position of the elbow as long as there's no space at the elbow. Okay, so just be tight all the way around. Just always like old analogy, boat constrictor, anaconda, whatever. Okay, like you ever watch them squeeze something? They're not like poking it here, right? It's completely encompassed and squishy. Second thing, when I said let gravity do the work, I mean literally, guys, I just rest my body weight into the armpit. Okay? Boom. Don't drive. Don't try to push his head off here. I start putting myself out of position, start becoming a neck crank. And when I start opening his neck up this way with these, like, it actually helps him breathe a little bit. Like, I want everything here, okay? As I start pushing, this starts happening and starts being able to survive a little better. So I'm literally just, all my weight is like right here, just settling right into it, okay? And I don't need to switch up my grips or anything. Just keep that, because that will allow me to kind of like make those little adjustments. I can move out, and shift my shoulder, I can move back in. Okay, so just be tight and settle. With gravity, just settle right into it. The only real body adjustment I ever need is like Austin's going to be kind of shrimping away from me most of the time, trying to get his elbow down, so I can drive into him a little bit and keep his shoulders flat. Okay? Just keep him. I don't want him here, right? I want him flat. So I can kind of just push into him a little bit and keep it flat. Make sense? Sweet. All right. On to the next. We did it.